EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Halftime Show here on JAKIB Sports. It's week number 6 edition. The Eagles taking on the New York Football Giants tonight. What a first half. A lot of stuff happened in that first half. It starts out in the game. Giants come out, smack the Eagles in the mouth several times, and I'm thinking, holy moly, this offense better get going, and they certainly did that. Jalen Hurts was 14 of 18 and a half for 164. How about Jaxson Dart, 10 of 13 for 127? He also has 4 carries for 38 yards. And how many times should we have sacked that guy? He was running around. He's the slowest fast runner I've ever seen. He takes it to a new level. That defensive line is struggling with no Jalen Carter. I know everybody's going to be concerned about the defense, but I want to propose something to you here on the halftime show. Coming into the year, with all of the losses that we had on the defensive side of the ball, if I told you we would not have Quinyon Mitchell, we would not have Nolan Smith, and we would not have Jalen Carter for one of our games, you would have said, defense is going to be cooked. So we're missing those guys. The defense is food without those guys. The defense looks like crap without those guys. So the New York Giants are moving the ball at ease. Right now, they lead the game. It's 20-17. How about that end-of-half sequence we just watched right there? The Eagles are about to not snap the ball in time. The Giants take a timeout for no reason. Then Jalen scrambles on third down, doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and they can't hike. The clock runs out. That was a weird final drive there for the Philadelphia Eagles. But look, we saw a lot. I'll say this. The offense moving the ball like that, to me, is a positive. We've seen a very stagnant offense every week. And when they move the ball, I know we're playing the Giants. I get it. But at the end of the day, you got to find rhythm. And I think they are finding a little bit of rhythm on that offensive side of the ball. I do see some people talking about Tank Bigsby. Okay, have we seen enough? We traded 2 draft picks to address our kick returner, who was supposed to be this, guy that fixed the kick return. They sent 2 draft picks, and so far, he stinks at it. Let's go to John McMullen. He's going to join me right here on the JAKIB Halftime Show. Johnny Mac, do I got you, brother?
Yeah, you got me?
Yep, I got you, man. What'd you see out there first half, John? Action-packed, 20-17 already, J-Mac.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a shootout, certainly at least from the New York Giants perspective. I mean, Vic Fangio talked about Jaxson Dart's legs potentially hurting the Eagles during the week. That's been the case. He's done an excellent job getting out of a couple untenable situations, extending plays, and doing some nice things. So you have to give him a lot of credit. But it is a little bit disappointing that the Eagles haven't been able to handle that a little bit better. And then you have Quinyon Mitchell going out with a hamstring injury. So, Keely Ringo, Adoree Jackson, all of a sudden the passing game gets involved as well. Wan'Dale Robinson doing a nice job. He had that little Jordan Humphrey, that 50-50 ball with the, terrible tackle attempt by Andrew Makuba as well, setting up a touchdown drive. So disappointing first half, I would say, for the Eagles defense. Saquon Barkley got going on the first 2 runs for 31 yards. Seems to have a lot of juice in his return to MetLife Stadium, so that's a positive. And when the Eagles get that first down, as we said, and it's not a 3 and out, they're so effective, and they've been in the red zone twice. 14 of 15, I believe, is the number now in the red zone on the season. So when they do get in there, they're incredibly efficient. 4 consecutive tush pushes. As they
the league
continue.
I think I'll be happy with that one, John.
Yeah, as they continue their attempt to get it banned. 4 consecutive tush pushes, but ultimately it works. So I think a lot of good offensively. Jalen Hurts had a nice first half, probably made a mistake there at the end, running the football with no timeouts. But, you're nitpicking at that point. It was getting late. You're probably not going to get field goal position anyway. But still, you'd like to see him handle that a little bit better. But overall, I think a very sharp first half for him. I think a very sharp first half for the offense. And, yeah, kind of disappointing from the defense. I mean,
John, can I
and
just put
Jalen
it this to you, though? I mean, look, on the defense, I get it. They don't look great, all right? But if I told you before the year, John, with all the changes that we had on defense, then we would add in a game where we didn't have Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, and who am I leaving out? Who am I leaving out right now? Jalen,
well,
Quinyon, and Nolan Smith. I would be like, yeah, the Eagles defense would be cooked. So they don't look good, but they are pretty banged up.
Well, they are. I mean, anytime you lose Jalen Carter, talked about that pregame, your most talented player, then you lose Quinyon Mitchell in the half. Obviously your best corner, but still, you're playing a team that's not good offensively. That's if there's any game I mentioned in the pregame show, if there's any game you could potentially persevere without Jalen Carter, this might have been it. And I think they will. I think they'll play a stronger second half. But, and you do see the impact of Jalen Carter because Cam Scatterbo had some nice runs in the second quarter, right up the middle, using his physicality. Ty Robinson, I think, got beat on one. Moro Jomo, that's not the strength of his game, obviously run support. So they're having some issues. But, I mean, it's understandable when you don't have your best players out there and Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Quinyon Mitchell. But, look around the rest of the league. There's tons of injuries. The New York Giants have to persevere on offense because they don't have their best player. And they did a pretty good job offensively without Malik Neighbors. So everybody's got those kinds of issues, and you got to do a better job. I think it's fair to say, and I think Big Fangio would be the first to say that.
Yep, makes sense. Johnny Mac, real quick, just what do you know about the injuries, man? I'm assuming Quinyon's done. I love it. The broadcast is like he's questionable. I'm like, he's sitting there not moving with the hat on. I think he's done for the night.
Yeah, I think he's done. It is interesting he didn't go back. Typically, you go back into the locker room. He might not come out, but yeah, I took it the same way you did. I mean, he's not typically, if you have a hamstring and it's not that serious, you're trying to loosen it up, trying to move around a little bit. So the fact that he was, being steady and not moving, I think that's an indication he's probably not going to return.
Yeah, Johnny Mac, good stuff, man. I'll talk to you in the post-game show. Appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, Jim Mac. There's Johnny Mac joining us right here on the JAKIB Halftime Show. Appreciate him for checking in right now. Good stuff. I mean, look, I get it. There's a lot of people sounding off on the defense. By the way, for those interested, the Philadelphia Phillies, I'm not seeing them on the air. I got the TV on there, and I see Dodgers players celebrating with the Phillies on the TV screen. I got my iPad here with the next gen way to view. I got my phone here for the regular broadcast of the Eagles game. I love the next gen stats view. And I had the Phillies on the screen. Phillies blow it. I got to see everybody saying Kirkering blew it. I got to go and look at what happened once we get off the air. But they did lose, and the Phillies have been eliminated from the 2025 playoffs. That'll do it for not only this year's team, but that team as a whole. I'm assuming there's big changes coming there. The Eagles defense, everybody's sounding the alarm. Everybody's scared that the Eagles defense looks like shit. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't really agree. I know they don't look good. Again, if you told me you won't have Quinyon, you won't have Jalen Carter, and you won't have Nolan Smith, I'd say, oh, yeah, defense is screwed that night. Defense is screwed that night. No pass rush, no defensive line. Defensive line can't contain Jaxson Dart. I mean, he's moving around the pocket all over the place, turning around, head, backwards, front, forward, sideways. Nobody can get him. And he's not even moving that fast. So, look, I understand that the defense doesn't look good. And they gave up 20 first half points to the Giants. And Keely Ringo's getting burnt and all these different things. But, dude, we had 6 changes on defense coming into the year. We all expected the defense was going to take some time to gel. Now they're missing, they're arguably two of their best 3 or 4 players. Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Nolan Smith's not on the edge. I mean, I knew the defense would be cooked when I saw Quinyon go down. I get it. They're playing soft. By the way, I was chirping Cam Scatterbo a little bit, all right? And you guys know me. I'll always say if I'm wrong about something. I was chirping him a little bit because I'm like, what is this guy he just bulldozes into people and everybody loves him? Yeah, I like the way that guy plays. All right, I got to give it to him. I like the way Scatterbo plays. He ran right through Reed Blankenship. He looked at that dude and said, I love that. That's football, man. I love that. I got to give him credit for that. So I've been chirping Scatterboo, but all right, that was a nice run, man. And then he runs him into the end zone and looks at Reed again. I'm like, oh, man, Reed blank. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, though. I think we're going to have a good second half. I'll tell you this. I know everybody's freaking out. I'm not freaking out in a Week 5 game. I'm sorry. I learned this lesson last year on the air when we overreacted to the first 4 weeks and the team figured out how to put it together. We're in Week 5 versus a shitty opponent, and it's a divisional game. They're always close, as somebody just alluded to in the chat. I wanted this offense to find something. The offense looks great. Jalen Hurts is getting the ball involved. You're seeing crossing routes from DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown. I mean, you got Goddard involved. You had Jahan Dotson involved. Jalen looks great throwing the football. I mean, come on. You know, I'm looking for things that we can take from this game and use to build on getting closer to what we need to be when the playoffs roll around. All right, and that's what we're doing tonight. I understand it doesn't look good. Brian Pumper says the cope is insane. Brian Pumper, I'll tell you one guy I'm not coping on. Keely Ringo stinks. He stinks, Pump. He stinks. And then the guy's on the ground, and he runs right by him. You know, I'm okay, Pumper, if you get beat. It's the NFL, right? You got great receivers. You get beat, I hear you. You run right by the dude? What are you, in college? You got drafted 3 years ago. Come on, Pumper. I know the whole defense looks like crap. Again, we're missing Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, and Nolan Smith. Does nobody want to address that we're depleted right now on defense in this game? I get they don't look good, but backups don't look good in the NFL. I don't know what everybody's sounding the alarm for. I mean, if I told you that before the game, you'd say, yeah, we're getting cooked. Now we're getting cooked, and you're all having a panic attack. Not having a panic attack. Vic will figure out how to adjust. Vic will make it harder on Jaxson Dart, and they're going to win the football game. Now, we'll see. It's halftime, all right? This team has been the tale of two halves for 3 weeks. So we'll see what ends up happening. I can't believe the Phillies blew it. I can't believe the Phillies blew it. What happened? Kirkering aired the ball over the catcher's head or something? You got to be kidding me. Yeah, Joe, exactly. Joe, I'm okay if you get beat. But you're sitting there running, you're looking at the dude. Oh, shucks. Oh, man, he made the catch. Dude, get him. What are you doing? Then we're losing the Giants. Derek, I'm not sounding the alarms yet. All right? Relax, big dog. Everybody can take a breather. I understand. It's a divisional matchup. Let's get to our super chats. Here we go. Brian Pumper. Brian Pumper looks like a freaking genius. Giants 28-20 prediction. That looks like a terrible prediction. Sunblack says, what the F is going on, Xander? Relax, Sunblack. Offense moving the ball well. Defense looks shitty without their best players. It is what it is. Almighty Lambo says, I'm over the cornerback 2 experiment. We need a freaking trade for somebody. Almighty Lambo, I could subscribe to that easily. Junior says, Ringo's so bad. Can't even defend a floater. Yeah, Jaxson Dart and these floaters. It's going to bite him. Kickoff's happening now. I'm going to read all the supers, though. Scott Squad says, Bowen gets no pass for allowing a rookie to cook him. Boy, did he cook him. All right, Jaxson Dart. He looked like young Jalen Hurts. 1 foot in the turf. Boom. Zach Barnes was jogging it out. Leon Banks says, like this if you think we need a trade for a cornerback, too. I like that. Jason Gates says, Dart is looking better than I expected. I assume Vic would shut him down, but Hurts looking real good. Hope our D can get it together second half. Go Birds. Good take. Jason Gates, I hate to blame injuries, but it is what it is, right? Exactly. Ringo sucks. I tried. Yeah, he sucks. All right, love all you guys. Enjoy the second half. Everybody relax, guys. Enjoy the second half. All right, who's got the ball? I got it on. Giants get the ball driving 1st and 10. Take a deep breath. I'll see you guys on the postgame show.
EAGLES. Eagles.